Ridley Scott's ambitious 2012 sci-fi epic ventures into the farthest reaches of space and our own origins. Mixing cutting-edge visuals with deep philosophical questions about creation, Prometheus follows a team of scientists searching for the architects of humanity. What they find is far beyond anything they imagined, spiraling into a dangerous battle between science, belief, and survival. Let's explore Prometheus, a journey into the unknown, a vision beyond the stars, a story that dared to dream. Now let's get one thing straight. Prometheus is not your average popcorn flick. It's got big spaceships, mysterious alien planets, and of course, a healthy dose of what the heck just happened moments. Our story kicks off with a group of scientists who think it's a great idea to follow some ancient star maps. Because why not answer the ultimate question, where do we come from? But before we dive into Prometheus, let's take a second to remember that trailer, because wow, did it set us up for something epic. It threw out these jaw-dropping visuals, eerie alien landscapes, and just enough hints of chaos to get our hearts racing. That haunting remix of the alien siren? Total chills. The trailer had us thinking we were about to see a straight-up alien prequel, full of xenomorphs and facehuggers, but it also teased something much deeper. Turns out, the movie had way more on its mind than just space monsters. Alright, so Prometheus kicks off with one of the weirdest openings ever. A giant, pale, super ripped humanoid, who we later find out is an engineer, chugs some sketchy black goo that immediately makes him disintegrate into a freezing ocean. Classic start, right? As his DNA breaks apart, bam, life begins, and we're talking human life. Fast forward a few thousand years and we meet Dr. Elizabeth Shaw, played by a determined, no-nonsense Noomi Rapace. She's convinced that ancient cave drawings she and her partner discovered hold the secret to humanity's origin. Spoiler, it's all about these mysterious engineers who Shaw believes are basically the creators of the human race, and she sees their cosmic graffiti as a personal invitation. Now, the movie's title isn't just for show. Prometheus takes a page straight from Greek mythology, where the Titan Prometheus swipes fire from the gods to give to humans, and ends up with a never-ending liver-pecking punishment from Zeus. Brutal, even by alien standards. This myth inspires Peter Weyland, the ever-ambitious founder of Weyland Corporation, to bankroll Shaw's mission to meet the engineers, and, in typical human fashion, ask for the meaning of life. And maybe eternal youth while he's at it. Prometheus is all about humans going on a field trip to meet their maker. But plot twist, these gods aren't thrilled to see us. When Shaw's team lands on LV-223, instead of divine enlightenment, they find a hellscape, a derelict spaceship packed with parasitic horrors and black goo that turns people into, well, monsters. Oh, and Shaw. She's got the unlucky job of getting pregnant with something out of a nightmare. Things take a serious turn when they finally wake up one of the engineers, a massive, angry giant who is very much not in the mood for visitors. Weyland's true agenda is revealed. It's not about solving humanity's origin story, but about becoming immortal. He believes that since he created life, shout out to his android David, played brilliantly by Michael Fassbender, he's practically a god himself. Naturally, the engineer disagrees, decapitates David, and uses his head to finish off Weyland. Ouch. Turns out, LV-223 isn't some cosmic Garden of Eden. It's a storage facility for biological WMDs. Yep, the engineers were prepping to wipe us out with the ancestors of the legendary xenomorphs. Why? Shaw asks the million-dollar question. Why do they hate us? What would drive our creators to want to erase their creation? That's the existential riddle at the heart of Prometheus. The film's most chilling moment isn't a xenomorph attack, but the terrifying realization that our creators may want us dead. It's dark, it's twisted, and like every alien movie before it, it's a reflection of how humanity's greatest enemy is often its own arrogance. In this case, the monsters aren't just creatures, they're the wrath of gods we were never meant to meet. And this time, they're not messing around. For over a decade, Prometheus has left audiences divided. Some say it doesn't make sense, complaining that Ridley Scott never explains why our creators hate us, and that this lack of resolution leaves the movie feeling hollow, compared to the tight, action-packed survival stories of the first 3 Alien films. In those, the goal is simple. Aliens show up, we kill them before they kill us. End of story. Even the visual style of the trailer felt somewhat dated when compared to modern standards. The use of flashy graphics, heavy special effects, and dramatic voiceovers felt like the norm back then, but hasn't aged well. Today's trailers often focus on more immersive storytelling, giving audiences a better idea of the film's plot and tone. By contrast, the Curse of the Black Pearl trailer gave only a surface-level glimpse into what would ultimately be a much richer and more layered story. One of the reasons why The Curse of the Black Pearl became such a success, despite the trailer's misdirection, was its ability to blend multiple genres seamlessly. It wasn't just a pirate adventure or a supernatural tale. It was a film that incorporated comedy, romance, action, and even elements of horror. The trailer only scratched the surface of this, choosing to highlight the action and the supernatural curses while downplaying the humor and heart that made the movie stand out. Captain Jack Sparrow's introduction in the trailer hinted at his eccentric personality, but the full depth of his character wasn't truly revealed until audiences saw him in action on the big screen. Depp's portrayal of Sparrow was far more nuanced and unpredictable than the trailer suggested. His unpredictable behavior, sly intelligence, and ability to manipulate every situation for his benefit made him a character unlike any other in Hollywood at the time. While the trailer presented him as a charming rogue, it didn't capture the full extent of his complexity. So, why do the engineers hate us? Maybe the real question is, why wouldn't they? This is a crew of flawed, selfish individuals trying to play God. In the world of Prometheus, perhaps humanity's biggest sin is its hubris, the belief that we're entitled to answers, to immortality, to control over forces far beyond our understanding. And that's exactly what gets them, and possibly all of us, in deep trouble. You don't need to dig too deep into Prometheus to see why Ridley Scott's outlook on humanity might have soured since he gave us the more hopeful Alien, where at least Ripley gets to survive with her cat. In the 30-plus years since, the way we've trashed this planet, exploited resources and allowed billionaires to jet off into space, instead of fixing problems like hunger and poverty, could easily lead to some darker, more cynical storytelling. We live in a world drowning in misery, violence, and subjugation. Maybe Scott's trying to hold up a mirror and say, this is why our creators hate us. By swinging for such grand philosophical questions, Scott had to know he'd be rattling cages. The movie doesn't exactly end on a hopeful note with the whole godlike creator gets eaten by a giant space octopus thing. But instead of wrapping up with a nice, neat conclusion, Scott sends Shaw back into space, her journey just beginning as Prometheus fades to black. Unlike Ripley, who returns home after her battles, Shaw is driven by something deeper, curiosity. She doesn't want to steal the engineer's fire, like Prometheus. She just wants to understand the truth. If you approach Prometheus with that mindset, it becomes less about answers and more about the thrill and danger of the unknown. As Prometheus comes to a close, we're left with more questions than answers, and maybe that's the point. The film challenges us to confront our origins, our arrogance, and the mysteries we might never fully grasp. It's not just about survival or understanding our creators, but about the consequences of seeking truths that could undo us. So, what would you do? Would you, like Shaw, keep searching for answers, no matter the cost? Or is some knowledge better left undiscovered? Let us know in the comments, because the real exploration starts with the questions we dare to ask. Like this video and subscribe to our channel to support our content.